I literally don't know where to begin. There's so much going on. There's so much going on with the sneaker. There's so much going on with the channel. It's hard to know where to begin. So what I'm going to try and do is focus in on this sneaker today, because it is an absolute out of left field, didn't see it coming sneaker, and I'm really looking forward to bringing it to you today. And it's just, it's really difficult for me to hold everything in my mind at once, but I will do my very best as I talk to you today about the Reebok Shaqnosis Year of the Rat. This is a Talking About a 23 Sneaker channel, Talking About a 23 Sneaker channel. There's my Nichi Absoluno Day, my Nichi me take it aside. Every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today, what we're going to be doing is looking at those Reebok Shaqnosis. Now, if I said to you, quack quack, not track and field, grey Jordan 14s. Okay, if I said that to you, would you be able to work out which rare sneaker I was talking about? Can you work that out? Quack, quack, not track and field, grey suede, Jordan 14s. If you can do that and you've worked out what that is, it's one of the rarest sneakers in the world, and it'll be in hand on this channel tomorrow. Let me know in the comments down below if you've worked out what it is. Check out tomorrow's video if you want to find one of the rarest sneakers in hand, because that is what will be happening tomorrow. But today, the grey sneaker that we're looking at, which is also grey suede, is this Shaqnosis. And recently I did a video about the Allen Iverson Reeboks that came out, the questions, and I was just like, this is a clean sneaker, and it really was a clean sneaker, and I loved looking at it. It's a sneaker I hadn't really looked at before. I'm from Europe, so I'm not really into the basketball side of things, although I love my basketball sneakers. But these, the Allen Iverson questions, I hadn't looked at in detail before, so that was great to do that. And then here we are again with a similar thing. It's the Reebok Shaqnosis. And speaking of Reebok and rare sneakers, Reebok Yeezys. Who knew, right? I mean, I didn't. That's my level of knowledge. So if you did know Reebok Yeezys, yes, you know more about sneakers than I do. But if you didn't, then you know the same about sneakers as me. I was like, no, Reebok didn't make Yeezys. Yes, they did. And here's a link to those in hand. Reebok Yeezys in hand. So if you're a Reebok guy and if you're watching this for your Reebok sneakers, there's two videos already, the Allen Iverson questions and the Reebok Yeezys, which is a crazy video about some of the rarest sneakers in the world. There's only 50 of each made, so definitely worth checking that out. And as I said in yesterday's video, these little cards up here, when you click on them, it doesn't take you away from this video. It just brings up a menu of other videos down the side. So it's well worth clicking on those links and seeing them and then planning what you're going to watch after you watch this video. But speaking of this video, let's get into it and talk about these Shaqnosis. It's the way I do it, I plan which sneaker I'm going to talk about, and I look out there. There are literally hundreds of sneakers dropping every week, and I have to pare that down to 7. Sometimes I can't do it, and I actually drop double content because I can't say no to a certain sneaker. And that's what happened with these guys. As I was scrolling through, looking around, checking out the sites, looking at Twitter, on social media, Instagram, stuff like that, and I was like, wow, these guys really caught my attention. They really kind of just straight away as a sneaker, you know, the whole thing. I was like, I want to look at that, and then dive in a little bit deeper and find out more about it and about the details. And it's like, yeah, that's a cracking sneaker. I want to bring that to the channel, and that's what I'm doing right now. So we'll start big and work small. We're going to look at the total sneaker as a whole. A very fine, clean, grey, roughed up suede upper on this guy, and it is really cool in that kind of two-tone shape. Now what I see when I look at these guys is almost like an eye. There's two things I see. It looks a bit like an eye, so hopefully you're behind me here, you've got those kind of curves up and below to give that eye effect. But it also makes me think of those hypnotic wheels, you know, those wheels that roll around and around, and you're supposed to look at them in movies and cartoons, and people look at them and like, I am in your power. And that's kind of what I see when I look at these guys on the lateral side, and you've got the two tones in the grey upper in those kind of repeating curves. And then the key feature for me, which I really love about this is the main reason why I decided to bring the Shaqnosis to the channel and talk about it today, was because of the way that upper integrates integrates with the midsole. I had never seen it done before like this in such a clean way. There are times when the upper and the midsole sort of integrate, and I'm thinking particularly right now of certain Nike running shoes where the swoosh kind of goes down into the midsole and then up again into the upper, and you do sometimes get that, but I'd never seen it in such a structured and complete way, in that the entire midsole and the entire upper are one unit. Of course, they're made from different materials. The upper is made from suede, and then the midsole from, usually it's polyurethane or EVA, I can't remember what it stands for, vinyl something, acetine or something like that. So of course they're different materials. One's a rubberized material, and one's a leather hide material, in this case suede. So I'm not saying they're the same material, but the actual design and the structure of them and the way that upper blends into the midsole is a totally unique thing. And I was like, that is very cool. I want to look at that. So as a whole unit, I absolutely love the concept of the sneaker. Then digging in a bit deeper, I really got into looking at 3 places where you can see the Shaq Dunk Man, and what he's doing is he's hanging on the rim after he's dunked the basketball, and you can see his knees are kind of up a bit, and I'm always kind of interested in that, because it's predominantly, I mean mainly, you're looking at the Jordan Jump Man, the Shaq Dunk Man, and the LeBron, I think they also call it the Dunk Man as well, as being the 3 silhouettes that people talk about most when it comes to logos, like silhouettes of people playing basketball. I'm sure there are other brands and other players who have done it, but not quite in the same way that these 3 guys have done. I mean, these guys are superstars, megastars of the game, and Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, and Michael Jordan. You know, they're definitely, you know, eternal all-stars, shall we say. And there are 3 points on this sneaker where you can see that with that shank. I always leave the little mistakes in the videos, and shank's a good one. I play golf, or I used to. It's a bit beyond my means these days, especially here in Japan. It's quite expensive, but a shank in golf is a thing, and it's not something you want to do. But calling Shaquille O'Neal shank is one of my favorite things I've ever done on the channel. But anyway, the Dunk Man, the Shaq Dunk Man, appears in 3 different places. The first place I want to zoom in on and show you guys is on the heel, where you can see in there in the upper you've got in that kind of light greys that match the rest of the upper. You've got the light grey background and then a darker grey Dunkman on there, and then again as we come forward, you should be able to see that at the bottom of the tongue, so you've got the tongue itself and the lacing system, then at the bottom there you've got another Dunkman sort of hanging, pun intended, hanging out. Oh, boom. You've got a Dunkman hanging out at the bottom of the lacing system there. And then the final place to have a look is on the outsole. If you flip these guys upside down, you can see a 3rd Dunkman, which is a bit of overkill. 3 different Dunkmen on these guys. But staying with that outsole, I really dig, I just like, I'm kind of OCD about things. I like things being in their proper place and being neat. So things that are not aligned, you know, frustrate me. You guys probably don't know much about cricket. If you do, thanks for watching my channel. Definitely let me know in the comments down below. But yesterday, the England cricket team did a thing called declaring, which is where they stop playing and let the other team play, even though they're not yet out. And they declared on 499. It was like, oh, why couldn't you declare on 500? So my OCD gets a little and these sneakers, like, they massage my OCD. And in terms of the outsole, which has been behind us here for a while now, it's the way that the upper bleeds into the midsole, which then blends into the outsole. I just love all that alignment and the way it's neat and clean. It really suits my OCD. It really fits my eye. So a really fine sneaker. And that outsole itself, with the different kind of paneling on there, that are slightly different colors to give it the distinction between the 2 different parts of the sneaker, like the 2 different materials or stylings on the sneaker, and then those orange segments in there as well, and that dunk band. So so as a total sneaker, I love it. I really think it's a clean sneaker. I'm glad that I could bring it to the channel. I'm glad it's one of those guys that caught my eye, and then when I dug a little deeper and had a look at them, it was like, yeah, these are really sweet, clean sneaker, representing the year of the rat in that grey suede, grey for rats. And you're going to see an awful lot of sneakers coming over the next few weeks representing Chinese New Year and things like that. It looks like the Jordan line are focusing more of their attention on the All-Star game, the All-Star weekend, but other Nike sneakers are looking closer at the year of the rat. For example, the Air Max 90s, I think, are looking at it. And then if you think about Adidas Superstars, celebrating 50 years of the Adidas Superstar, they also have a Chinese New Year coming, and I'm sure other brands do too. So yeah, so these Reeboks though are you know, they're not in line with that at all, but they are in that Chinese New Year, the New Year of the Rat. So they're more in that area than in the area that Jordan's aiming at with the All-Star weekend. These guys are definitely more into the Chinese New Year side of things. So that's the two main stories in sneakers right now: Chinese New Year, All-Star weekend, and these guys are definitely the Chinese New Year side of that equation. Now, drop dates, all I've got for you right now is sooner rather than later. Anytime official pictures start showing up, you know they're ramping it up and getting ready to drop these guys. So these are official pictures, and you know, I've checked around, and all I can get is a sooner rather than later drop date. So definitely keep an eye out for these guys. But as they are celebrating the year of the rat and Chinese New Year is coming up real soon, you can kind of bet that they're going to drop in early to mid-February sometime, if you ask me. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize. And then you know, for the last thing, if we're looking at these guys as a total sneaker, I did talk about that eye effect, and how the upper curves that curve kind of upwards, and then the midsole curves that curve downwards. Right in the middle of them, you've got that Reebok branding, which is a great place to finish looking at the sneaker and a great place to end this video today. It's like the pupil at the center of an eye, and I just really dig these sneakers. I really dig where they put the branding on it, the construction of it, and the colorway itself looks really, really fire. So I think the Shaqnosis Year of the Rats are going to be a hot sneaker this year. If you're into your Reebok sneakers, definitely you know, get your hands on a pair of these guys. And as I was talking about rare sneakers earlier and clicking on links, I might as well put a link to the playlist for the Butter Movement, which is full of those rare sneakers, including those rare Yeezy Reeboks that I talked about earlier. Well, Reebok Yeezys, I should say it that way around, shouldn't I? But with that being said, it's time for me to say farewell, and thank you guys for checking out my content. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow with that rare sneaker, and if you could work out from the hints, quack quack, not track and field, grey suede, Jordan 14, if you can work out what all that means, you'll know which sneaker is coming tomorrow, one of the rarest sneakers in the world. And it's a beautiful sneaker, literally, I'm not kidding, beautiful, gorgeous sneaker, it really is. So I'm looking forward to bringing that to you guys tomorrow, but for now, it's time for me to say thank you guys for checking out my content. But as I do this every single day, that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.